We will now move on to the second part of the meeting, which is the prepared speeches. Tonight we have three. We have three prepared speakers, and each of them will be delivering different projects. So, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Emily, the evaluator of the first speaker, to come up and read out the objectives. Toastmaster Emily, over to you.
Thank you to the Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Akram. So now I would like to proceed with the first speaker, who is June, and the speech title is the overview of June. So from this, the purpose statement for the speech on today is that the purpose of this project is for the member to introduce himself or herself to the club and learn the basic structure of the public speech. The notes for the evaluator is the member is completing his or her speech in Toastmaster. The goal of the evaluation is to give the member an effective evaluation as well as to deliver her own style as well. Due to the icebreaker, and this is the first project for June as well, as a member to complete it, and June may choose to use only the notes section and not the numerical score. That's all for the purpose statement and the notes for the evaluator. Thank you.
Akram, you're muted.
Akram, you are muted.
Akram, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Emily. I would like to call on the first speaker for tonight, Toastmaster June. Speech title, The Overview of June. The Overview of June, Toastmaster June, over to you.
Akram, before that, sorry to interrupt. Emily is doing her evaluator speech as well. So should I read the, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, apologies for that. I would like to invite Toastmaster, Toastmaster Pooja, right? We'll be reading the speech,
Toastmaster
the
Pooja,
note.
yes. For Emily, yes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I would like to invite Toastmaster Pooja, the general evaluator, to read the note to the evaluator.
Okay, sure. Give me a moment. It's for Toastmaster Emily, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So she's doing her level 1 project 2, which is evaluation and feedback, evaluator speech. And the purpose statement is the purpose of this project is for the member to develop skills for delivering and receiving feedback. The purpose of this speech is for the member to deliver constructive feedback on another member's presentation. Now, notes for the evaluator, Jaya and Ahmed. It is recommended that the member evaluating this portion of the project to be proven exemplary evaluator. During the completion of this project, the member presented a speech on a topic, received a feedback from an evaluator, and incorporated that feedback into a second speech. About the speech, the last portion of this assignment is for the member to serve as an evaluator at a club meeting. The member will deliver an engaging and constructive evaluation of another member's speech. He or she will also demonstrate proper meeting etiquette by being fully engaged during all speeches. The member may choose to take notes during the speech he or she is evaluating. That's all. Back to you, Thierry.
All right. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Pooja. So I will move on and call on the first speaker for tonight. Right. The first speaker for tonight is Toastmaster Jun with the speech title, The Overview of Jun. Speech title, The Overview of Jun. Toastmaster Jun, over to you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is June, but I'm not born in the month of June. I'm a September Virgo baby. I came from a small family of 5. I'm the youngest in my family with one older brother and one older sister. Both of them have their own sweet family with 2 children. I grew up in Kelantan until I finished my Form 6 studies at year 2007. I'm the only one who studied Form 6 among all of my best friends. But I never regret that my parents asked me to proceed for my study Form 6, because I cannot imagine what would happen to me if I insist to follow my best friend to study in college in KL after completed my high school. Because at that moment, I was not sure what I want in my life, and I might not complete my studies and graduate from any college or university. Therefore, I never feel sad on it, because I believe work-life experience will give me more valuable skills and knowledge in real-life society. Well, I learned piano when I was 4 years old and stopped for a short period, and I continue again to pick up at age of 6. I once planned to give up on learning piano, however, thanks to my mother, because she taught me not to give up easily. I went through a very challenging childhood time where I took music exam during UPSR at 12 years old for my grade 5 practical and theory, and during PMR at 15 years old for my grade 8 both practical and theory in music. And now, finally, I'm a piano teacher today. I started working as a piano teacher at age of 20, currently teaching as a part-time piano teacher in music center located at Kota Damansara. Besides that, I have a full-time job as a medical sales representative, managing key account customers. I love my job as I explore new things, new knowledge, new people's, new place every day. Besides that, I also enjoy my teaching career, and I will not give up easily on both career. If one day I've retired from my full-time job, I will definitely become a full-time teacher, either teaching at music center, home-based teaching, or both. I started to love to listen to music when I finally realized that how music completed my life. I do not have specific idol, but I love to listen relaxing classical music, jazz, and blues. I wish to attend orchestra again after the pandemic is over. So whoever loves music, we can go and enjoy together. Besides music, I love cooking recently. I signed up with ABC cooking lesson for baking and cooking class in earlier this year, and I started to attend the class in October because previously was lockdown. So if you are one of the members of ABC cooking, please let me know so that we can attend the class together one day. And after attending the class, I started to cook at home, and I feel proud with my own signature dishes. So if I have the chance, I hope I can cook for my families and friends, but please make sure to do the washing after enjoy my cooking. Well, let's talk about why I joined Toastmaster. I joined Toastmaster, I know Toastmaster from my colleague, and I noticed most of my friends knows about it, but totally zero knowledge to me. I was so curious, and I get the chance to attend few meetings as guest in past November and October and November, and I found it very interesting and I want to learn public speaking skills. Honestly, I get nervous easily. I get sweaty palms and I really not good at public speaking. For example, I'm just a piano teacher who can teach well for my students, and I do enjoy playing piano alone. But when asked me to perform on stage, I can't play very well because of shaky hand, nervous, and very shy. Same goes to public speaking, where my teeth will be trembling, my sounds will be trembling. I believe everyone here can notice when I start my ice breaker today. Oh, and sweaty palms. And finally, I hope everyone, including me myself, can improve in public speaking through this Toastmaster. I might not able to be the best public speaker, but at least I can improve myself to speak or perform more naturally in public one day. So thank you for your kind attention on my icebreaker today. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster June, for that interesting story about yourself and a true motivation to us all. So before we move on to, and I would like to request everyone to give a round of applause since this is Toastmaster June's icebreaker. Okay? Congratulations, Toastmaster June. Before we move on to the next, before I invite the next evaluator, I would like to inform everyone the voting is up for the best table topic speaker. So I do recommend you guys to vote. So it's on the chat. Just check on the chat. It's available over there. Thank you. So moving on to the next. Before we move on to the next speaker, I would like to invite the evaluator for our second speaker, Toastmaster Mufaro, to read out the speaker's objective. Over to you, Toastmaster Mufaro.
Hello, good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Am I audible?
Yes.
All right. Yes, good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I'm going to be evaluating Toastmaster Abdul Wahid on his title, on his speech titled "Break the Rules." The purpose of the speech, the purpose of the project is for the member to present a speech of any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to demonstrate that he or she has applied the feedback received from his or her previous speech. And the notes for the evaluator, during the completion of this project, the member receive feedback about his or her speech and work to apply the to a second speech. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Mufaro. I would like to invite the general evaluator, Toastmaster Pooja, to read out the note to the evaluator. Over to you, Toastmaster Pooja.
Okay, sure. So the notes for the evaluator would be, it is recommended. Okay. During the completion of this project, the member received feedback about his or her speech and worked to apply the feedback to a second speech. Now, about this speech, the member will deliver a well-organized speech on any topic and incorporate feedback from his or her previous speech evaluation. The member may choose to present the same speech or a new speech. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. And finally, be sure the member gives you notes or that you speak with the member before the meeting to discuss the feedback he or she plans to apply in this speech. Pay close attention to these parts of the member's presentation while providing a comprehensive evaluation for the speech as a whole. That's all. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Pooja. And now I would like to invite our second speaker for tonight, Toastmaster Abdul Wahid. Speech title, Break the Rules. Speech title, Break the Rules. Toastmaster Abdul Wahid, over to you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. My name is Abdul Wahid. We live in a society that has rules and regulations, that has do and don'ts, that has policies, the way of doing things, either laid down by the government, stakeholders, or decision makers. And there are some that we shouldn't go against. However, looking at it in another side, if you are talking about way of life, we only have just one way of life. We have just a single way of doing things. Is there no diversification in this world? Do we need to always do it how our predecessors have done it, our forefathers? Do we need to stick to the same method, or do we need to think outside the box? Many people cage themselves in an imaginary box, thinking that this is the way of life. This is the way of doing things. This is how it's supposed to be done. There is no any other way except this. Even if you meet some people and you seek for some advice or admonitions, they are going to tell you, oh, this way you want to do it? Oh, no, it cannot work like this. Oh, you might fail. Oh, this is funny. You cannot make it like this. Then you think that if you do it the way you've actually planned, then definitely you are going to fail. It means you've caged yourself inside an imaginary box. For instance, in my country, most graduates, from undergraduate studies, they think that the next thing on their agenda is to go for postgraduate studies. Immediately after BSc, and then I must go for my MSc immediately. Thinking that going for MSc is going to pave way, to a good pay, to a good job, and a standard way of living. And we have some people that they are actually making it. They don't read more than undergraduates. And they are one of the most wealthy people in the world. Most wealthy people in the world. For instance, let's look at some people that are into data analytics. Some people that are into business analytics. They go into that and they gain the knowledge, the skills, the technical know-how that even if I use 2 years in school or 5 years for my PhD, I may not be able to discover or acquire what they've learned because they work with real projects, real life projects. Actually, I'm not saying that going into postgraduate research is not good. Actually, I'm also through with my own MSc and I'm also planning for PhD. But what I'm saying is that we shouldn't think that this is only the way for us to make it in this life. I've been searching for some scholarships for my PhD. But what some people used to tell me is that you have to target Europe, USA, UK, Canada, Australia. And actually I did use most of my time. If you know how scholarship application works, you can use 20 hours applying, messaging some professors without even knowing that the time is going. I use most of my time doing that. I have some research, some deadline that I need, some review that I need to submit. But just because I need to apply for scholarship here and there, then I keep applying and it's actually wasted my time. But there are some other schools outside there that probably if I apply, they are going to give me, admission? Why is it always UK, USA, Canada, Australia? If I try that and it doesn't work, why not try another method? Besides, we have some people that they may have acquired 30 years of experience in business. And if you tell them I want to go into business now, they'll tell you, oh, Mr. I've used 30 years in business. I will not advise you to go into that. Actually, the mistake you made or the errors or some mistake you made, I may not be able to repeat that mistake. I may be able to, excel more than you. But what I'm trying to say is that we should try to break the rules. This is how it's supposed to be done. This is how it's supposed to be done. Then you think there is no any other way beside that. I also want to chip in something, which is about writing research papers and submitting some papers and the likes. For those of us most of us in postgraduate research studies, we would observe that there are some journals that we actually love to publish our papers or our research work. Maybe it can be a journal house like Elsevier that has some other journals under it, or MDP High, or some other journals like that. So why some people think, okay, I must always publish in Elsevier? Why not try any other journal house? Why not try MDP High? Why not trying like Emerald and the likes? So we waste most of our times thinking that this is just the only way to success. This is just the only way for me to make it in life. So I want to tell you today that try to break the rules, but please and please don't break the law. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Abdul Wahid, for that wonderful speech. It's something like thinking outside the box. That's how we usually accomplish different and new things. Anyways, moving on to the next speaker, the third and final speaker for tonight. I would like to invite this third speaker's evaluator, Toastmaster Han, to read out the objectives to the speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster Han.
Thank you, Akram. So our third speaker tonight will be Toastmaster Nisa. She will be doing her level 1 project 3, researching and presenting. The purpose statement of this project is for the members to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topics. Back to you, Toastmaster Akram.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Han. Now I would like to invite our third speaker for tonight, Toastmaster Nisa. Speech title, The A to Z of Wetlands. The A to Z of Wetlands, Toastmaster Nisa, over to you.
Hi. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, wait a moment. I can't see my screen.
I think this sharing screen one is really not quite friendly. You quite not user friendly.
Now can.
Alright.
Dah boleh ke? Okay. Tak boleh. Sekejap. Okay, can you see my full screen or is it
Oh, it's in slideshow now.
slideshow?
Full screen. Yeah, slideshow. Yeah.
Screen. Okay, so I can see myself. Okay, wait a moment. Okay, Assalamualaikum and good evening. So today, my research, I would like to present my research about the A to Z of wetlands. Okay, about 785 million people in the world, they lack a basic drinking water service. So a part of it, like 144 million, depends on surface water from river, lakes, or stream. And the bad news is at least 2 billion of people depend on drinking water with with contaminate feces. Okay, these facts was taken from World Health Organization. So to solve this problem, uh, the basic drinking water, here is we comes about wetlands. So first, what is wetlands? As you can see in this picture, we have water, we have plantation. Yes. So according to Masmau 2012, a wetland can be defined as a large area filled with water either seasonally or permanently. And of course, it must contain some soil. So in Malaysia, we have two types of wetland. We call the first one is natural wetland and the second one is constructed wetland. So this constructed wetland also can be called as artificial wetland, engineered wetland, and treatment wetlands. So now I think you must ask me, what's the function of wetland? Okay, first, obviously because it is large enough, so the function of wetlands is to store water, and indirectly when we store water, it can prevent flood damage. So the third things function of wetland, for sure, as a maintenance of plant communities. Why plant communities? Because inside wetland, come again, we have plantation. And the last, the most favorite and the most popular function of wetland is to improve water quality. This is what we are going to discuss today. Now, I would like to ask you, we have picture A, picture B, and picture C. So I'll let you guess, what's the A picture, the location of A picture. It is recently just announced to open to public for glamping.
Putrajaya.
Yes, good. Nazira, is it Nazira?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yes. A picture is Putrajaya wetland, and B is located in university north area. Is it called USM? And C picture is Setiu wetland in Kuala Terengganu, which I just discovered recently. Okay, so this is the basic. I just want to share what I found, the basic surface for the layman, okay? So this is type of wetland. We have picture A, picture B, and picture C. Okay, we have two types of wetland. First, subsurface flow wetland, and second is the first one is surface flow wetland, and the second one is subsurface flow wetland. Okay, subsurface flow wetland is where the water is exposed to atmosphere. Okay, you can see the water movement from the inlet to the outlet is exposed to atmosphere. So we call it as surface flow wetland. And when the water, okay, picture B and picture C now, yeah, when the water is moving through media such as gravel, sand, we call it as subsurface flow. Okay, so this subsurface flow later on, this we classified into two types, vertical and horizontal. So the B picture is horizontal and the C picture is vertical. You can see the movement of water is come straight vertically. Okay. Okay, moving on. Okay, this is the research review that I have done. We can see that the pattern of a past researcher, they tend to do the experiment with the scale of a constructed wetland in like a column size. A column size is like 1 meter. Okay, the picture at the bottom, you can see the column size. This is what researcher done previously. And supposedly, the constructed wetland must be large area, like the one that we have very big is about 10,000 meters square. Okay, the top picture here. Okay, and then you can see this is I tabulated some info from Pediscal, Young, Philho. You can see comes again, they tend to do the small size of wetland, constructed wetland small size, okay? Okay. Kang, Guo, Rainier, and Liu. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's it about the research review. Now, I just like to share about wetlands in a glance. Okay, this is a wetland. Okay, so we have dirty water comes in, and after like for Malaysia, we design wetlands to store water within 12 to 24 hours. So when we have the plantation inside the wetland, it will absorb it will take out all the nutrients, all the dirty water, and end up it will discharge clean water. So you can see on the bottom is we have Lepironia articulata, Typha Augustifolia. Okay, this is among types example of plants that we can plant inside our wetland. Okay, now let me bring you to UTP facilities where we have our own constructed wetland. Okay, this is the design like sketch lah, bukan design. This is like a sketch. Okay, the first picture is a sketch. Okay, and then we further construct all the according to the sketch according to the sketch data, and finally on my right hand side bottom picture is a finished product of constructed wetland. Okay. Okay, last. What a benefit of having constructed wetland in our area. Okay, first it can improve water quality in Malaysia by treating dirty water before discharge to drain or river, so it can give some environmental impact. And from economic impact, for sure when we have clean water discharged into the drain, let we think, do we need water treatment plant? No more. So the issue of having water treatment plant doesn't raise anymore, okay? So before I end my presentation tonight, water is life, so everyone deserves clean water. With that, thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster of the evening. Bye.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Nisa, for that very informative session.